What is up, guys? It's the NJB here, and today I just want to make a video talking about Bleacher Report Live. So it's a brand new service that we can use to watch the Champions League football, and it's only for the US, I believe. And I just have some things I want to say about it because I didn't know that we were going to get it this year. But yeah, I kind of want to talk about the pros and cons, and just for a spoiler, there are a lot more cons than there are pros. So I'm just going to get right into it, and let's go. Alright guys, so first of all, let's talk about the things that I like about the service, and let's talk about what's better than having, or what they do better than Fox did when Fox had the rights for the Champions League. So the first thing is, you can watch all the UEFA games, so this includes Champions League and the Europa League. Any game that's on, as long as you have the service, you can watch it. Also, they have one game that's going to be on live on TNT, so I don't remember if TNT is on live TV or not in the US, but if you have some kind of cable or TV streaming service, for certain you can watch at least one Champions League or Europa League game, or actually two Champions League or Europa games a day, because we have one that starts at around like 9:55 and another one that starts at 11:55. So that's that. Also, you can watch all the games on replay. I believe it's for probably about a week, I think. Because I looked, and you can't even look at the games that came on like about last week or a week before that. So you can watch all the games on replay. That's another good thing that's pretty convenient to have. Also, they have their own highlight show, so that's also part of the service. So now you don't have to wait for like Fox to have it on TV, or you don't have to record it or watch a replay. I mean, it's like, as long as you have the service, it's there. You can watch all the games. For the most part, that's all I have to say that I like about the service so far. Now let's get into the negatives. So the first negative is that they only have one channel on TV showing one game at a time. So as I said before, you can only watch two games a day. One that starts earlier in the morning and one that starts about afternoon, just like 5 minutes before afternoon starts. And this is kind of unfortunate. I mean, I would prefer it if it was more like Fox, where we had like at least two different channels showing games, so games would come on like earlier or at the same time. You can look at FS1 or FS2 or sometimes West, and then you'll have Fox Soccer Plus, where they give like a multi-stream, so they just switch between different games. That would be nice, but with this new service, with Bleacher Report, you only have TNT doing it, so that's a bit unfortunate, and it's just not that great in my opinion. Also, I really don't like that I have to pay for a brand new service that, like, it's a new service and there's no like add-on on like YouTube TV or like Sling TV or like any of these like internet streaming service just to have Bleacher Report Live, or to get like to add like a cable service to it so you can use it. I mean, at least not that I'm aware of. I just don't like having to pay for a separate service. I just wish I could just continue paying for a service I already have and add on to it. So that's just one negative thing I have about it. I just don't like that separate part about service. Also, the app itself, I mean, the website works pretty well. I don't have too many problems about the website, not that I can remember off the top of my head. But for the app, I have a multitude of problems. So one, the loading times are bad, even on good connections. I can watch like YouTube in like Quad HD, which is like 1440p on my phone on the same connection. I can watch it in 4K on my Xbox One X, like just seconds before. But if I go on my phone and watch it, like with my good Wi-Fi connection, I mean, it will just start buffering. The connection won't be that good. The quality won't be that good, and that's not that great. Another thing I have a problem with is when I connect it to a Chromecast. The Chromecast, on other apps, when you connect an app to a Chromecast or something to stream, as soon as you press play, it's going to start streaming on the app, or on YouTube, it will like ask you if you want to stream it or add it to the queue. In this app, it will play the video on your phone, and then it will give you the option to stream it. And then if you click on another video, it would want to play that video on your phone too, rather than just let you stream that. I mean, I don't know, like, I think it's pretty simple. Chromecasts have been around since like 2013, so I think it's pretty simple just to have an app that works on the Chromecast the right way and not just be like kind of messed up. So I think that's something they should look into and just do it like other apps do. I mean, it's been like done pretty well by other apps like Netflix, Hulu, YouTube TV, like just all the other apps that have videos in it. They do it pretty well, and I don't know why this app's the only one with a problem with it. Especially if it's going to be one of the only ways for you to watch Champions League when you're not at your home. Another issue I have with the app is another problem with the video itself, and the problem is going into full screen. Now, on all of the apps, when you rotate your phone, it will go from like a portrait mode to a full screen mode, no problem. That's simple. Apps have been doing that forever. On this app, it's different. If you rotate your phone, it won't go to full screen. It will just stay in landscape. If you want to go to full screen, you have to click the button. And when you do that, it's like the video loads into like a separate player, and then that has to go to full screen. And sometimes when you do that, the app will just restart the video. So imagine you're like 40 minutes into watching a replay of your game because you're at work and you couldn't watch it. Now, your video restarted and you have to figure out where you were. And it's just very frustrating. And sometimes rotating it in that mode is just a pain. Also, because it's like a separate player, if you want to like check something else out, you can't if you want to go to another game or look at something else, like it could mess up the app and it's just not going to work that well. And it's just a hassle. I don't know why that like an app would have a problem just rotating, going from full screen, like from portrait to full screen. Like this is something very simple, so I just don't know what they were thinking when they made the app. The last thing I want to talk about with Bleacher Report lag is this isn't like a app problem or like having like a service problem. This is more like the content itself, and that's the fact that, for lack of better words, there aren't a lot of foreign accents when you listen to them. I mean, everyone who talks, like everyone who's part of like the halftime show and the pregame show and after or post-match show, I mean, there's only one person from England, and everyone else is American, just straight Americans. No one's really like an ex-pro like footballer or a like soccer player or whatever. Like no one has like been in that profession. And honestly, it kind of distracts from the immersion. Like in Sky Sports, you have like guys who played the game before. With Fox, you got guys who played the game before. ESPN, you have guys who played the game before. And you have guys from like other countries. And yeah, you just have guys who like watch the game. Like I'm not gonna say these guys on Bleacher Report Live don't watch the game or haven't watched it as long as them, but it just seems a bit different just hearing like only Americans talk about it, especially when they're not even like at least ex MLS players. I mean, I would at least expect us to have like some ex players who played the sport, but that's not the case with this. So it could be a personal thing. I don't know if anyone really cares about that. I mean, personally, I think that it would be better to have more people who've like played the game before talk about it, but I don't know. That's kind of just a personal thing. It's kind of like 50-50. To you, it could be negative or positive, but it's just one thing I noticed, and it's just, I don't know, it's kind of different to me. Like, it's not necessarily a bad thing. I do think, like, their input on the match and what teams need to do is pretty good, in my opinion, but sometimes, I don't know, it just feels like they were just hired to talk about it, and maybe they don't know, like, that much. I don't know. Like, I don't know like how much about football they know, but that's kind of how it seems from the outside. So that's just what I wanted to talk about with Bleacher Report Live. So all in all, I think the service is pretty decent. I like that you can watch all the games. Like, yeah, you can watch pretty much all the Champions League and Europa League games. But the only downside is that you have to pay for it. The app is horrible. Service is, I guess, it's pretty decent. I just wish you can like get it as an add-on for like another TV service. I do wish they had more channels on like Live TV that you can watch, but I guess you have to pay. Oh, by the way, it's like 10 or 11 bucks a month. So that's how much you have to pay a month. And you must believe that when the Champions League is over, or like during January when there aren't any Champions League games, like I'm not going to pay for the service. In fact, it seems a bit weird to pay for a service at the full price when the group stage is over, because you're only going to get like 2 games or 4 games a month after that. And then there are months where we don't get games for like about 1 or 2 months. So I guess that's like March and April. I believe that's when it is, but I know the Champions League skips a month, so yeah, I'm not going to be paying for the service in those times. And there are some other content and other things to watch in the service, I believe, but I don't even remember what they are. And I know that if I wanted to, and if I was interested in those things, I'd remember what they were, but I don't. So yeah, all in all, I guess if you want to watch Champions League football in the US, this is the only way. So it's kind of something you have to pay for anyway. But I just hope they can improve the service, mainly just the app, just the functionality of the app. That really needs to improve. And they need to make sure that when they're talking like in the game, I don't remember if I talked about this already, but they do show, like one time there was a time when they showed ads before the half even ended, so that's kind of dumb. Also, I hate that the commentators talk, like they're talking about the game or the pregame show, they're talking about the game like right up until like halfway into the Champions League anthem. And Fox never did that. Fox would just let you watch the players come out and you can hear an anthem about to start, and then just shows all the players and the anthem's going. Everyone does that. You've never had a problem. The Bleacher Report, they want to have us listen to them talk during that time, and that's really ridiculous. I mean, we came to watch the game, not listen to them. I mean, that might sound a bit harsh, but that's reality. We want to watch football. We don't want to listen to commentators. And it's kind of like, it's almost like they're making like other American sports where like you're bombarded with like the service and like sometimes ads and other content like in addition to what you're trying to watch. So I just think that just small stuff like that they should improve. Just focus on the football, not outside stuff. And yeah, so I just think that they are kind of new, so maybe they're still getting used to it. But I think the service, it just has some things they need to work on, but it's not impossible. They just need to update the app, just change how they do stuff. And yeah, that's what I got to say about it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. This is me, AJB. Tell me what you guys think about Bleacher Report live. Do you like it more than like Fox's way of doing the Champions League, or do you like the new way, or do you prefer how Fox is? Sorry, but tell me what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers, mates.